Once upon a time, in a small town shrouded in mystery, there lived two brothers named David and Stephen. They were inseparable, sharing a bond that seemed unbreakable. However, beneath the surface of their seemingly perfect relationship, a dark secret lurked. David, the older of the two, had always been envious of Stephen's success. Stephen was charismatic, intelligent, and had a knack for making friends effortlessly. He excelled in everything he did, whether it was academics or sports. David, on the other hand, struggled to find his place in the world. As the years went by, David's envy grew into an all-consuming bitterness. He couldn't stand being overshadowed by his younger brother any longer. The jealousy ate away at him, fueling a sinister plan that would forever change their lives. One fateful night, as the moon cast an eerie glow over the town, David lured Stephen into an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts. The air was thick with tension as they entered the dilapidated building, unaware of the darkness that awaited them. Inside, David's heart pounded with a mix of fear and determination. He had made up his mind. He would end Stephen's reign once and for all. With trembling hands, he picked up a heavy brick lying on the ground, its rough edges digging into his palms. Stephen, oblivious to his brother's sinister intentions, chatted away, unaware of the danger lurking behind David's eyes. As he turned his back, David seized the opportunity and swung the brick with all his might, striking Stephen on the back of his head. A sickening thud echoed through the warehouse as Stephen collapsed to the ground, blood pooling around him. David's heart raced, a mix of relief and guilt washing over him. He had done it. He had finally rid himself of the constant reminder of his own inadequacy. But as David stood there, staring at his fallen brother, a wave of remorse crashed over him. The reality of what he had done sank in, and he realized the magnitude of his betrayal. Panic set in, and he fled the scene, leaving Stephen's lifeless body behind. Days turned into weeks, and the town was consumed by the mystery of Stephen's disappearance. David, haunted by guilt, couldn't escape the weight of his actions. Sleepless nights and tormenting thoughts plagued him, driving him to the brink of madness. As the investigation into Stephen's disappearance intensified, David's paranoia grew. Every knock on the door, every suspicious glance from a passerby, sent shivers down his spine. He knew it was only a matter of time before his secret would be exposed. One stormy night, as David sat alone in his dimly lit room, a knock on the door shattered the silence. His heart raced, and his palms grew clammy. With trembling hands, he opened the door to find a detective standing before him. The detective's piercing gaze seemed to penetrate David's soul. He knew he couldn't hide the truth any longer. In a moment of desperation, he confessed to the heinous crime he had committed. Tears streamed down his face as he recounted the events of that fateful night. The detective listened intently, his face a mask of stoicism. When David finished, the detective sighed heavily. "We found Stephen's body," he said, his voice filled with sorrow. "But it wasn't you who killed him." David's eyes widened in disbelief. "What do you mean?" "I struck him with a brick." The detective shook his head. The autopsy revealed that Stephen died from a rare medical condition. It was a tragic accident, not murder. David's world crumbled around him as the weight of his guilt lifted. He had betrayed his brother, but fate had intervened, revealing the truth and sparing him from a lifetime of torment. From that day forward, David vowed to honor Stephen's memory by living a life of redemption. He would carry the burden of his betrayal, forever haunted by the choices he had made. And in the depths of his remorse, he would find a glimmer of hope, a chance to rebuild his shattered soul.